as a young designer, I guess our advice to you is and Craig, I think about my old boss, he encouraged me to go and do this outside of hours. He was always, not that he's like, he was always empowering us as his design team to go and seek knowledge. And I'd often grab a couple of cartons of beer, and I'd obviously, before going, I'd ring up a factory that I hadn't been to. Now, that's maybe not the most culturally appropriate thing to do this day, but that's sort of how I engaged and understood and took the burden off my employer, but showed initiative around learning. And at the same time, I picked up a network contact and a knowledge of industry, right? So I'd spend a lot of my time doing that and understanding innately the process and following a piece of sheet metal from sitting on a rack all the way through to its final powder coated stage, and spending time with the guys understanding what the limitations are of a gooseneck press or a laser cutter or whatever the case may be, so that when it came time to design in that materiality, I had a level of understanding that meant it was not just feasible, but I could actually push it. The difference between good and great products is often how we push the manufacturers to do better, to do something they've never done before.
Yeah.
That's where the design spirit comes into this situation.
To push, you have to know the limitations.
You have to know the limitations and obviously the foundations. This podcast is about downloading our knowledge and trying to share it with emerging designers. I think initiative is key, and understanding what you don't know, and projecting forward. At some point on that journey, you'll keep applying for jobs in something like where you want to be, and the burden of training will have reduced. And the design director will go, actually, this guy or this girl's got enough skills that I can bring them on, and they're going to be useful for me. The other, I guess, recommendation I have is any job is a good job, right, at this point in time in your career. And it may not be aligned with Bayers, or it may not be aligned with where you want to be as a career goal or an aspiration perspective, and you may not be picking up the design skills that you want in that first vocation, but you'll definitely be picking up professional practice skills. You'll definitely be picking up team working and managerial skills, or how to react to managers. You'll understand business ethics around communication and email. You'll start understanding all these other tacit and not really discussed parts of working in a business context. But as an employer with a graduate, I still have to train, right? Not just the design skills, I have to teach all that other stuff. So if you can actually lift the burden off around professional practice, which may not be related to design, but just business professional practice, and get that experience anywhere, again, you're helping reduce the burden of employment or burden of training